The recent announcement of Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda brings up something I've been thinking about for a little while now. Slowly but surely, we have been entering more and more of a gaming culture of small to mid-tier gaming companies being acquired or enveloped by larger companies. We're seeing a consolidation of video game development studios under fewer and fewer publishers. And this was a big step that I saw coming, not this exact merger, not this exact acquisition, but I was thinking that right around the time this next generation was getting started, the situation was ready for a very large video game publisher or developer to be acquired by Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo. I think it was right. I think that going into this generation, we're going to see a lot more of these companies come under the umbrella of one of the big three, and I think it's going to be a battle of exclusives going forward. And this acquisition by Microsoft could be the thing that makes Sony and Nintendo pull the trigger, realizing that that is how things are kind of going as gaming moves forward, to where they need to try and make a big move themselves of a similar nature. And if that were to happen, there are a lot of big companies that could be up for grabs or have been showing more loyalty to one of the big three more than the other, and could possibly move in that direction. But how I would think things would go down, I think there is a chance if this Microsoft move makes Nintendo and Sony make a similar move. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but if this were to happen, I think what would happen, I think Sony would acquire Rockstar. I think that would be the equivalent move by Sony, and I could see Nintendo acquiring Sega. And that would be a remarkable move, and I think that would be the most beneficial and the most logical move as far as acquiring a massive publisher by Nintendo. I think that would be a huge move for them, and I think Nintendo would then, of course, own Atlas by owning Sega, and I think that would just be a brilliant move for them if they were able to do that. And I do think that Nintendo would handle some of Sega's older unused IPs better than Sega has, and I think that would actually be more beneficial for the return of older Sega franchises. I think that would be something that would be kind of like a dream come true in a way. It's weird to think of, someone who grew up in the 90s, to think of Nintendo possibly owning Sega, but I think that would be a fantastic move and would really be amazing for them. And I definitely could see that Sony pursuing the idea of Rockstar as being their weapon against Microsoft acquiring Bethesda. I'd love to hear what you think below. If you think that this is kind of how things are going to be going, as will the big three just start kind of making dividing lines and acquiring or really obtaining company loyalty, even if not outright purchases, from all these different developers? And is there going to be a lot more separation this generation, with a lot more companies putting a lot more focus on exclusives on certain consoles? Will it be a war of exclusives as we move into the next generation? And if that does happen, what do you think? Do you think that is how it would go down? Sony would acquire Rockstar and Nintendo would acquire Sega? Or do you have different companies in mind that you think could be more logical choices?